We never thought a day will come where when somebody is doing something good for a community, that person could receive an extreme sort of backlash. Today, we're going to dive into MrBeast, formerly known as Jimmy Donaldson. Well, Jimmy is the most popular YouTuber in the entire world. #1 YouTuber. He has well over 200 million subscribers on YouTube. His videos typically gets about 100 million plus views. MrBeast usually does stunt videos like the first person to stay in this circle for 20,000 days will receive $1 million, right? He does crazy stuff like that. And one of these crazy stunts was to go around African countries digging 100 wells. He built 100 wells for Africans to give them clean water, and he went to remote areas and very poor areas to perform this stunt.
This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! Oh, crap! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video.
The video titled, "I Built 100 Wells in Africa" has well over 100 million views. There's been a lot of backlash and also praise for his generosity. His philanthropic work. MrBeast has another channel called Beast Philanthropy where he actually raises money to do stuff like this. This isn't the first time when MrBeast has been to another country to perform some sort of philanthropic work. He cleans beaches, he does stuff on fundraising. So this particular trip to Africa, MrBeast raised $300,000 to do it. Per my calculations, in Africa to dig a well cost about maybe $1,000, and if you have to treat it, you are looking about roughly about 2,500, right? So if he dug 100 wells, that's gonna cost him roughly about $250,000. That's what he used to do this. This amount is not a lot of money at all for African governments. Africans are sick and tired of people coming to Africa and only showing the bad side of it. Though MrBeast has no intentions of doing that, he sent the wrong message because he went straight to areas where people are living in extreme poverty to do this, kind work. And some people took it the wrong way. So let's dive into this article that I have from CNN. Let's see what people are saying about MrBeast. An American YouTuber, MrBeast's latest video in which he says he built 100 wells across Africa has drawn a complex response online since it was published on Saturday. Some Kenyan activists and journalists said that he has spotlighted the failures of the Kenyan government, while MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, anticipates that he will be quote-unquote cancelled following the reaction. The new wells will provide clean water for up to 500,000 people in Cameroon, Kenya, Somalia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. Jimmy Donaldson said while an accompanying fundraiser to support local water aid organization had raised more than $300,000 by Monday morning. Donaldson's 10-minute video also showed him donating supplies to Kenyan schools such as new furniture, soccer balls, computers, whiteboards, and projectors, building a bridge across a river to safely connect a village while the local schools and hospitals, and donating bikes to a village in Zimbabwe to help children get to school. All good deeds, right? All good deeds. But some people got bad stuff to say about this because, like I said, people are sick and tired of the Western media and MrBeast being such a big YouTuber coming to Africa. I personally think he could have done better by showing, the good parts of Africa before diving into, this part of Africa with extreme poverty, right? He did a terrible job at that. He just went straight to do his work. I don't think he was thinking so deeply about it. He just went to do his work. That was it. But some people don't like that. Well, I'm not going to read the whole thing to bore you guys. We got Boniface Mangaugi. Said that we are a shameful, horrible country, a begging nation governed by millionaires. Rightfully so. It's the problem with most African countries. The politicians are very rich, but some people are really struggling. It is such a shame that Africa has all these vast resources. They collect taxes. But because of corruption, we are always the beggars, always asking for foreign aid. It's just so embarrassing. It's sad. So let's get to it. That every 5 years, we give newly elected members of parliament $33,000 and 4 those cars every month, but we have no money to drill boreholes for our people. Freelance journalist Ferdinand Omandi said, "It's embarrassing that a YouTuber jetted into Kenya on a charity tour to perform tasks our taxes should have completed ages ago. While, Nairobi is nice and all that, most African countries, they pick a spot like Accra, East Legon, and when you go there, it's nice, right? The media does a terrible job at, at showing that to the world. But however, there is some truth to what these people are saying on Twitter. The vast majority of people living in these African countries are suffering, like extreme poverty, and that shouldn't be the case. Considering all the vast resources we have on this beautiful continent. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, and we are constantly like the beggars. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Then we have people who are complaining that they've been doing this for ages, kind of like, doing philanthropic work in Africa, but they get no recognition for it, and kind of jealous in a way. So let's read one of those because it's quite interesting. Saran Kaba Jones, founder and CEO of Face Africa, an organization working to improve water infrastructure and sanitation in sub-Saharan Africa, told CNN, "I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because funding, awareness, and advocacy all take work." And then she added, overnight, this person comes along who happened to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all of the attention. It's kind of frustrating. It's also understanding the nature of how the world works. Sorry, Madam Saran. I guess you wanted to be acknowledged for your hard work over the past 15 years, but yeah, the world is unfair. MrBeast has a huge following, and he got well over 200 million eyeballs. You can't compete with that. So sorry about that, but it was unnecessary, in my opinion. While most of this is people coming for the African government, failing to give its citizens a decent lifestyle, common drinking water in some areas to this date. Some people don't have it, which is quite sad. Looking at the finances involved to set up this clean water is not a lot of money at all. The government can do that for the entire nation. It is not a lot of money at all. Like I said, you can have a well built for about $3,000. It's laughable. So it's quite frustrating. It's embarrassing that we cannot take care of our own, right? And it took one single person, Jimmy, age of 25, to come and do this. Some people are furious that MrBeast came to show the very poor side of these African countries without showing how Africa is in general, right? And I can understand that. But MrBeast was not thinking about this deeply. He just wanted to do what he wanted to do and leave. But I understand the frustration. Over the years, the media has constantly shown Africa as this, intense poverty place where people have big stomach, fights on their head, and it's just constant. Everything you see of Africa is like poverty, 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 and people get sick and tired of it. So for MrBeast, such a huge platform to come to Africa and go straight to the villages where people are struggling without showing even some part of the cities and letting people know, bring awareness to it. It's just a certain portion of the country that's going through this. It's not. It's not the whole country. I mean, if you have common sense, you will see that. But as Einstein said, the hardest thing that one can do is thinking. Thinking is very hard, and most people don't do it. Believe it or not, people don't think. So when people see these things, what they capture is how poor Africa is, right? And, to most people, that's how everybody lives here. And that's been the narrative for all these years. And I think when you are coming to do stuff like that, you definitely have to let people know, it's this side of the country, some side of the country is developed. Educate them a bit before you show this, looking at the history behind how Africa has been portrayed in the media for all these years. That's my takeaway from MrBeast's video. I think he did a great job. Me having watched his videos from time to time because he's the biggest YouTuber and there's something we can all learn from Jimmy. And he's very generous with his knowledge. However, people took it the wrong way. Some people also took it as a way to lash out at the government, which is pretty good. But overall, Jimmy meant no harm from me being aware of the stuff that he does, right? He goes to beaches to clean. He doesn't educate. Jimmy is known for this. He's been criticized for not going deep in his videos. He just does his stunts and he moves on because that's what people like. That's what he said, right? If he's going around trying to explain to people about Africa being blah, 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 without him just jumping straight to digging the wells, people's attention span now sucks. People will leave the video and will not perform as well. So he just got to get to it. People don't have time for him to explain this history. It's not a history channel. He was just doing his stunt, digging 100 wells, right? And he wanted to just keep it as that. So, I mean, no matter what you do in this world, people are going to have something to say, something bad to say, no matter what you do in this world. So just do what makes you happy and move on. But, you know, Jimmy, thank you for doing this. I mean, there are a lot of, you know, Black Americans and, you know, people with money, celebrities, and they're buying $1 million bags and all that. One thing that I do respect about Jimmy is Jimmy doesn't spend money on frivolous, you know, materials and all that. Jimmy uses his money to, you know, increase his production, reinvest in his business, and he does a lot of charity work. That's something we got to respect. But like I said, you could be Jesus Christ on the... Jesus Christ gets criticized. Muhammad gets criticized, right? It doesn't matter who you are. People are going to criticize you. So you just got to do what makes you happy, what you think is morally right to your heart, and just move on, right? And that's my take on MrBeast. But I think what he did, somebody's digging 100 wells in anywhere, he's done good, right? He's done good. I have nothing to say. Great job. We appreciate you. And more people should try to help and give out what they can. And that's that.